Next I have Stanley Mitchell.
Mr. Chairman. Good afternoon, Dr. Stribling and commissioners of the SAHA Board. Thank you for your service. My name is Stan Mitchell, the numbers guy for the Streetcar Coalition. I'm appearing before you again in the pursuit of the truth. Because you may have been shielded from details of that quest, I want to bring you up to date. In September of last year, 4 months ago, your interim president, David Nisivoccia, appeared on Ken's 5 TV and publicly made untrue and therefore libelous allegations of fraudulent behavior against my friend and associate, Mr. George Alejos. Based on our streetcar experience, it made sense to me that if Nisivoccia's verbal abuse became known to this august body of community leaders, you would discipline him. I was wrong. SAHA staff, in the person of Attorney Benjamin Lugg, would not even answer my basic question, what did Nisivoccia say? How could I persuade you that his conduct was abusive in the absence of a record of what he actually told the public? We followed a series of communications with Texas Attorney General seeking the release of the details of Nisivoccia's mischief, pursuing our open records request. In the words of my most recent letter to the AG dated January 19th, quote, Mr. Nisivoccia publicly impugned Mr. Alejos' character in his television interview. Releasing the details of Nisivoccia's unsupported charges may expose Nisivoccia and SAHA to embarrassment accompanying their defamation. But that is not our concern, is it? Apparently, SAHA shifts readily from its public service mission to intimidation and vengeance if they encounter resistance from a public advocate, such as Mr. Alejos, who is also affordable housing director for Lugg. Unquote. In that same letter to Assistant AG Tamara Strain, I asked the AG to enter the enforcement phase of our inquiry, citing an extract from the Texas Public Information Act. Quote, if with criminal negligence, the officer or officer's agent fails to give access to public information to the requestor, unquote, that offense is a misdemeanor, punishable by a fine, jail time, or both. Copies of my letter were sent to Attorney Lugg, Attorney General Paxton, Chairman Stribling, and Mayor Taylor. Coincidentally, I received yesterday Assistant Attorney General Strain's February 1st response copying Attorney Lugg, quote, the authority, that is SAHA, has requested a ruling from this office regarding the requested documents, unquote. This represents more stalling by your agent, Attorney Lugg. The AG's office already advised Lugg in the January 13th letter, quote, as you raise no further exceptions against disclosure, the authority must release this responsive information. The authority must release this responsive information. The February 1st AG letter to me continued, quote, in addition, we note the act gives local prosecuting attorneys jurisdiction to evaluate possible criminal violations. Please contact your local prosecuting attorney for further assistance if you believe that a criminal violation has occurred, unquote. Based on our brief history together, it is clear that Nisivoccia's behavior is endorsed by this board. Lugg, your employee and agent, has been busily challenging our quest for the truth. Chairman Stribling, you have been copied on all my correspondence. As a result, you are well aware of the background and details of our complaint. We correctly conclude that you all, board members, accept intimidation as a policy for controlling dissent. So here I stand, giving you one more opportunity to confront your accuser, a basic right you have denied Mr. Alejos. What's next? First, I will send you, Chairman Stribling, a summary of my presentation today and provide a copy to Mayor Taylor, with whom I have recently opened a dialogue on the subject, quote, making bureaucracies accountable. In that forum, we will address our historic via streetcar experience, elaborate on the more recent CPS Energy Smart Grid fraud, and update her on this emerging SAHA aberration. Second, We will consider contacting our district attorney to pursue criminal enforcement of the Open Records Act. In the meantime, Chairman Stribling, if you believe a conversation between you and me would be a more productive use of our time than a conversation between the district attorney and me, you have my mailing and email addresses and my phone number. I regret that my presentations to this board are ending on a sour note, but we have been searching for the truth. And sometimes the truth hurts.
Amen.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.